What's up, ladies and germs? It's Big John. I'm coming at you with another commentary. Today, I wanted to talk about something that I am just pretty passionate about. I was watching another YouTuber by the name of That Killer Gary, and he was talking about the defects of a negative mentality, and that's something that I am just extremely passionate about. Let's see, it was his most recent video, the one titled "You're Doing Better Than You Think," which got an astonishing 370 views, and I think it's still going in just a week, which props to Gary over here. He's absolutely killing it. I wanted to talk about this negative self disposition, and man, I hate it. I hate it so much because it's so popular nowadays to be just so negative towards yourself, to have such a negative psyche as you just go about your daily life. And one of those big things is like self deprecation. I hate self deprecation. Granted, I like to consider myself a funny guy. But listen, I don't even touch self deprecation humor. And it's so common. Let's take an example. You're, at school or at work, and you fumble a task. Like somebody's like, hey, look, I need this done at the end of the hour. And you go in and do your thing, and then you don't get that thing done by the end of the hour. You go to whoever asked you to do that thing, and you say, oh man, I'm just, haha, silly me. I'm such a klutz. I'm so stupid. And you turn it into a joke, right? That mentality of stupid, or, often cases, it'll go as far as like, oh, I'm dead. This happened, so haha, funny joke, turns into haha, I'm just gonna end my life because this is so cringe, haha. Why? Why do you do that? Why go there? Why put yourself in that mentality of I'm gonna put myself down in order to make others happy, in order to make others laugh? That's not a good enough reason for self hate. Honestly, there's no good reason for self hate. But why even remain in that train of thought? You gotta think that outside of all the people that there are in the world, not a lot of them really have your back, you know? So why are you gonna join the rest of the world and stab yourself in the dang back when just to make a couple of people giggle? It's just not worth it. Like, there are so many other ways to be funny, whether it's witty, whether it's, having dad jokes, whether it's just being a funny guy who can spin situations in a funny way. Like, there's so many other ways to be funny outside of self hate. Man, it just gets me going. Like, I just get so frustrated with it. And, anyway, back to my point about you having your own back. I mean, outside of like your mom, and that's not even all the people in the world don't have that, but outside of like you've only got a limited amount of people, whether it be a couple good friends, your parents, your siblings, maybe a couple cousins. The rest of the billions of people out in the world do not have your back, and so they're gunning for you just as much as you are. Why are you going to give them ground to stand on? Man, be tough. Stand on business. When you mess up, own that shit and turn around and then keep walking, but don't tear yourself down. Say, all right, I messed up this time, but you know what? I'm going to go after it next time and I'm going to get better. You don't have to go that drastic and say that every time. But don't tear yourself down in order to make others feel better, because that's an endless cycle that leads to serious things like depression and really bad negative self-talk. And having been there, because I chose those routes of comedy and self-talk for so long whenever I was in middle school and early high school, having chosen those routes in reference to my own self, don't stay in that. Don't remain in that, because it spirals into a constant negative self-talk, whether you're joking with somebody or not, whether you're in social settings or not. You start having this crazy self-talk where you're tearing yourself down piece by piece, and you're losing in touch with yourself because your point of view for yourself is constantly set on, look how miserable I am and look how miserable I am continuing to be, rather than going, look at all these small victories I've had today. Look at how many victories I had the day before. I'm doing really well, and look at all that I've built. Look at where I've come from. Right? If you keep your mentality there, then your future becomes easier to walk towards. It doesn't look so scary, and people start to respect you because you respect yourself. So don't tear yourself down in order to gain social status or in order to put yourself in a funny scenario or whatever. And a lot of people will say that, well, if I tear myself down first, then nobody else can do it. And while I used to think that way, it's not worth it. If other people are trying to tear you down and you use it as a defense mechanism, you're not hiding anything. You are just sitting behind your failure. So quit sitting behind your failure. Build yourself up, because you can be all that you want to be, and start standing on the business that you've cultivated, the successes that you've had, and the path that you've curated for yourself to walk towards success. And it starts with, in your social interactions and the way that you think about yourself, you have to be the person who's got your back. And it's tough. It is tough a lot of times, because if you're a very introspective person, right, and you're looking in the mirror and you're going, these are all the things that I've done today, that I've messed up 100 odd times. They're so loud, right? Your thoughts are so loud. You can hear those things, all the things you messed up. The same concept of, like, I'm laying down and I go to sleep, and all I can hear is all the terrible things I did whenever I was in middle school and all the cringe interactions I had, and they're sticking with me. And all those negative thoughts that you constantly have about yourself, they're a lot louder than the positives. But you got to start by cutting out the talk, right? Being conscious of the fact that I'm putting myself down in order to gain some sort of social status or social leverage. You gotta give that up. What other people think does not matter. What other people say about you does not matter. While you might care, because for some regard you hold different various people and strangers to a high pedestal, and it might cause you to look up to them, what they think about you doesn't matter. All that matters is what you think about yourself. And you know what? I'm not going to shy away from this either. What matters is what you think about yourself and what the good Lord above thinks about you, because at the end of time, when you pass away, he's going to be the only one that you answer to. Now, whether you share that same sentiment about the Lord or not isn't my concern. I'm just telling it how it is. But you can't let other people hold that power over you. You are the only one who gets to decide who has that power. And who are you going to give it to? Are you going to give it to yourself so that you can build yourself up? Or are you going to give it to these random strangers on the street who all they want to do is step on you so that they can get to a higher elevated status than you are? Right? Are you going to let people walk on you your entire life, or are you going to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and go and get what you deserve, which is whatever you can work for with your hard-earned, honest time and effort? Yeah, man. I hate negative self-talk, and I guess it'll turn me into a great hype man, but my point being, guys, is be your supporter, because there aren't that many people in the world who want to support you. And there are people who want to take a platform to encourage you to keep walking in a good direction. And I hope that I can be one of those people that's encouraging you to walk in a good direction, to go and take charge of your life, to go and take charge of who you can become, who you can be, for whatever purpose that you have, in mind. Whether that purpose be wanting to be a good father, or wanting to be a good, boss, or wanting to be a good friend. Just be good. But you also got to know that everybody else is trying to tear you down, and everybody else is trying to get you to be the worst possible version of yourself so that they can elevate who they are. And don't let them do that. Don't let them tear you down. Come back here, honestly, And know this, be reminded of this, that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And everything that you have accomplished so far, I am proud of you for that. Hear me when I say that. I am proud of you for everything that you have done and you have accomplished. But keep going. And don't let the haters stop you. And as funny as the haters are, or as funny as saying don't let the haters stop you is, don't let them tear you down. Keep on trudging. Get to that goal. Be the best person that you can be, because in the best way possible, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you to go out into the world and be the best you can be, so that you have a positive impact on those around you. And maybe one day you sit down in a private conversation with another guy out there who does not know when to call it quits and quit beating himself up or beating herself up. Or you look him in the eye and you say, hey, I've got your back, but you are the only person who has you forever. So don't tear yourself down. Build yourself up so that when others try to come after you, you've got the best defense. I'll get off my high horse. The point of all this is just for me to extend a hand and say, hey, look, you can be everything that you want to be, but you've got to get out of your own way. You've got to stop beating yourself up with this negative self-talk and negative self-disposition. You've got to go out there and work hard and pave your own path, because nobody's going to do it for you, and you can't do it for you if you're beating yourself up all the damn time. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. Much love going through the screen to you guys. I'm not perfect, but hopefully I can spread a little bit of positivity. And look, if you have any questions about advice or anything, just send it to the email that's in the description of this video. Originally, I had an email set up that was going to be for submissions, but that did not work out, so I had to change it to a different email. So go find that one. Send me any questions. It's a little easier to answer a question than it is to have to come up with my own talking points. However, I have lots of things that I am passionate about, and so I will keep yapping. Do not worry. I will talk your ear off until I can't talk no more. But yeah, have a great day, because as Gary says, because why not?